Thank you for joining our Top 5 Hotel Tech Support Questions webinar session. My name is Diane Bowen, and I'm the Director of our Customer Services organization here at SkyTouch Technology. We have over 6,200 properties currently using our platform, and the top questions brought forth in today's session are not only the top questions for us, but for other property management system providers. Throughout the session, we will give you a sense of how we guide properties using screens from our training environment, and the customer information contained within these screens is not real or live information. Joining me today, we have some in-house experts that work directly with our customers, as well as a general manager from the Canada's Best Value Inn in Calgary, Lori Andrew, and she and the rest of the team will be covering our top 5 questions. I will introduce each individual at the beginning of each question. So let's dive right in. So up first, we have, how do I balance my folio? Probably one of the most popular questions received by our technical services team. And this will be answered by our technical services supervisor, Kathy Alberta. Kathy.
Thank you, Diane. As Diane mentioned, I do supervise the SkyTouch Technology technical support team. She is correct. This is by far the #1 question that is presented to our team, not only our team, but industry-wide as well. The design of the SkyTouch Hotel operating system allows for your guest service agent to make any necessary corrections in balancing the folio directly from the folio. You will see on the right-hand side the actions bar. They're able to do any action to adjust on this folio at any time. They can post charges, they can adjust charges or make any corrections necessary. They can also configure charge routing, which we will talk about a little bit later. They can also view the estimated cost directly from the folio at any time during the guest stay. At the end of the stay, in addition to being able to print the folio, they are also able to email it directly to the guest, eliminating the paper.
Great, thank you, Kathy. Next up, we have, how do I find a credit card on a reservation? And so I'm going to turn the time over to Jordan Jones. He's our Manager of Technical Services. Jordan?
Thanks very much, Diane. This is a common question that we receive, and asking how to view credit card information for a guest. It's asked for a variety of reasons, including confirming or changing payment methods for a guest. So by default, SkyTouch Hotel OS makes guest credit card, or masks guest credit card from the reservation. In fact, the ability to view credit cards is restricted by a security role. Only the general manager has the ability to grant people access to view credit card information. So not only is it easy to view credit cards from here, it's also easy to set restrictions to protect guest credit card information. And any property management system that you choose should allow you to do so. So to view credit card information, as you can see from this screen, you access the reservation information from the Find Reservations drop-down menu and click on the Payment Info tab. So once in the Payment Info tab, you click on that Unmask button that you see. Once you do that, clicking that button will display the credit card. And so you can verify the information that's there. Because SkyTouch is so focused on security, and any PMS provider that you go with should, we also make it easy to see who has unmasked or decrypted credit cards. This allows you to track potential issues and react to them. To view this information, you go to our Reports section by clicking Run Reports from the menu drop-down list. Then click on the Credit Card Decryption Report. Enter your date ranges and hit Submit. And as you can see from this screen, you are able to see user ID, credit card type, including IP addresses of those who have unmasked credit cards.
Great, thank you, Jordan. All right, next up, we're going to discuss what report do I use for reporting taxes. And so I'm going to turn the time over to Stuart Black. He's one of our training services trainers. And so, Stuart.
Thanks, Diane. One of the questions we get is, how do I get a report that's going to show my tax liability that I have to pay either every quarter or on a 6-month basis? So here in the SkyTouch Hotel OS, we're going to access this report by going to the Run Reports menu. And from here, we're going to select the Hotel Journal Summary Report. There's lots of reports that you could use, but this is the one we're going to recommend. The Hotel Journal Summary Report allows you to do a date range. In this example, reviews from January 1 to June 30th. And we're going to click Submit to display the report. So here we have lots of information. Our first column is all of the postings that happened, followed by the corrections, any adjustments that were done, and then we have our net totals. So it's that net totals column that we see here for our state tax and our occupancy tax that is the liability that we need to report for that date range.
Great. Thank you, Stuart. Stuart will also be covering our next question, and that is, how do you route charges to a different account? Stuart?
This is definitely a question that we get both on-site and through support as well. We get a lot of examples of you might have a construction team in, there's 5 rooms, and they all want the charges routed to one bill. So there's one guy with one receipt and makes one payment and everything's good to go. So in this example here, we're going to look at routing charges to Erica Collins. So from our in-house list, we simply click on her name, and it's going to redirect us into the guest information page. From the guest information page, we're going to follow our actions into the guest folio. And from the guest folio, we're going to take our actions into the configure charge routing. When we're on this screen, it's going to ask us, what type of account is this? Is this the source or the target? The source account is who's being paid for, and the target is who's paying the bill. So in this example, Erica is the target. She's paying the bill. So we select the radio button next to target account, and then we're going to add sources. We're going to be presented with a list of options of reservations we can route to her account. In this case, it's the Kingsley reservations, and this list is sorted by confirmation number to make it easy. So we have Riza, D, and NK Kingsley that are all going to get routed to Erica's account. We have to select them individually by clicking on their name. Here, this list is showing us having selected all 3 individually, and then it asks us how we want to route the charges. Is it simply all charges? Is it just the room and tax, or is it just incidentals? Once I've made my selections, then I hit Save Changes, and all future charges will be then routed to Erica's account. So she'll have one simple receipt, make one payment, and everything will be easy for her.
Great. Thank you, Stuart. All right, our last question today is, how do I optimize rates for special events? And so I'm going to turn the time over to Lance Jones, who is a sales engineer in our business development group.
Thank you, Diane. So first of all, we have base rates within a hotel, but when there are special events, those special events often have different restrictions, different rates involved with them. So with our system, you would simply create an event. Then you can see we put a start and end date, a guarantee cancel policy. We have the ability to restrict discounts during this event. So if you don't take AAA discounts during this time, you can simply go and select 10% to where you can't use AAA during that time. Additionally, you could set up stay controls, which are close to arrival or property minimum length of stay, as well as selling limits. And lastly, some of the things you can do here, you're able to put rates by rate buckets. And for this event, you can actually have different rates for an extra person, crib, or rollaway. And that's basically an overview. And I'd like to introduce Lori to you. Lori is a user of the SkyTouch Hotel OS, and she has been on the system for over 2 years. And thank you for joining, Lori.
Thank you, Lance. The special events area of revenue management is one of my favorite to use, just like the entire revenue management section. Its ease of use makes it why I like it so much. With the special events, I do a lot of work from my phone and my tablet, and I'm able to do it on that device. I'm also able to, and have used it when I've been at a a Tourism Calgary meeting or a Chamber of Commerce meeting where an event is come up last minute, and I'm able to access while I'm there, so we are live and ready to go, not even being at the property. Because of how it is set up and so clear, it's easy to implement, put all your numbers in, everything you need. You're able to review it, and you can see your creation there right live time. It's great that within special events that I can limit or apply the buckets. As Lance had talked about, the cancellation policy, the selling limits, I'm able to, because it is a special event, if I want to block my OTAs, I am able to do that, and I am leaving more money on the table for the property and not paying out to everybody else. It's also great I can track my numbers, so if the event is not working for me, then I can either resort back to just using my regular bar rates or adjust, modify the event, shorten the dates, lengthen the dates if we're seeing more coming in there. So I'm able to keep the revenue happening. We also really enjoy it at the property level that the special event comes up and our staff is aware, and I use the dashboard on the main operating system so that they know the events. And a lot of people that are calling in are maybe not asking for the actual dates, they're asking for the event, and we're able to go straight to that, give them the customer service, give them the information, and for people that are wanting or wondering why it's a higher rate during that time, we're also able to provide them why. Nobody wants to hear from a hotel or a motel that, oh, there must be something happening. They want to know why. And as a result of that, we find that we have a higher conversion rate during when we're using special events, because then people are aware this is what's happening. I better book. If it's a special event, it's going to sell out. So our staff, who we consider city ambassadors, they're also showcasing not only our property but the city, are able to provide that information, and we've got the turnaround and the people are booking at the time. If the event is not working, then we cancel it. But for the most part, it's able to work for us. It gives us a lot more flexibility, ease, which we love that ease of use, and it just gives us quick ability. The staff, as with all of SkyTouch, they understand the system, they know, and it's clear for them. So it is one of my favorite sections to use. I find it's bringing me more dollars, and then I can focus on whether the event is happening, or I can put it in, and if I'm finding it doesn't apply to our property, I can pull it out. It's definitely something within SkyTouch that is very good for us, and so I'm sure it's good for lots of properties, and it works for both for me as a GM when I was creating an event, and I'm doing it from my phone or a laptop. There really is less room for errors. It's very clear, precise, and it's sitting there ready to go. So it's a great portion of the rate management program.
Great. Thank you, Lori. And I would also like to thank our experts as well. Thank you for joining us today. If you would like additional information or would like to follow up with us directly here at SkyTouch, you can go to SkyTouchTechnology.com and click on the Book a Demo link and insert your information, and we will gladly call you back. Again, thank you for joining us for our Top 5 Hotel Tech Support Questions webinar session today, and we look forward to seeing you on a future webinar.